I think that's the one thing I want to bring up is that we may think we don't know anything. We're like, oh yeah, we were just at the beginning, right? Like we don't know shit. But then as you start networking and speaking to more people, you start to realize that, oh, I actually know more than I thought. You realize that, you know, you think your knowledge is here, right? But your knowledge is actually further up here, right? Good, because that happens when you meet people whose knowledge is actually here. Then you're like, oh shit, I actually know so much more than these people. So there's so much for you to actually bridge. So you never know until you meet that person that knows a lot less than what you currently do. That's always gonna happen. Like you're always growing unless that one day you decide like I'm just gonna turtle at home. I'm just not gonna read the news. I'm not gonna do anything. Then you're stagnant. But if you're always constantly gaining new knowledge, then you always have more things to teach people, and there will always be more people ahead of you who know more than you. The journey never fucking ends. Another video I watched is you're saying if you have targets for like you think yeah I'm gonna like maybe stop a bit or like take time to ease it off once, or I think I'm successful once I reach six figures. But then once you reach six figures, you're like, shit, now I see people reaching seven figures. Now I want to reach seven figures, right? And then let's say you reach seven figures, then is that really enough? Do you think you're successful? Probably not. You're probably going to be like, now I want eight figures, right? Like the journey never ends. That's just the reality of it all. Your situation is always ever changing. Unless you're so concrete in your head that, yes, once I reach seven figures, I'm going to stop. Then what are you going to do then? But yeah, boys, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be an endless loop where you keep going and going and going. You're like, oh, I think I finished. Nope, there's more. Nope, there's more. Nope, there's more.
I think
just
yeah, like in terms of what you know and what you're able to teach to someone or the value that you're able to provide to someone, I think unless you are a newborn infant, you're always going to know more than someone else at some point in time, at any point in time. Take for example, you're like an 18-year-old who has done well in school, does a part-time job, is on his way to either getting into post-secondary or starting his own career. He's going to know more than the 16-year-old who's kind of deciding, oh my god, should I get that part-time job, or should I go find a mentor, or should I go do something? What should I do? Like that 18-year-old has more knowledge and is able to give value to that 16-year-old. At any point in time, you're able to provide value to somebody. Now, let's take an example as well, right? Like someone who's 20, who's been running an Amazon store or doing e-commerce for the past like 5 years, right? Since he was 15, has made six figures, seven figures even. Now he's talking to this 40, 50-year-old who's like, okay, you know what? I want to try my hand at e-commerce. I want to try my hand at Amazon, selling stuff on Amazon. Yeah, this 20-year-old knows way more than what this 50-year-old guy might, right? The 50-year-old guy's never done it before. And again, comes in the whole age discrimination thing. 50-year-old person, if they're close-minded, they'll look at the 20-year-old and go, what do you know? You're just starting out. So it's about having that open-mindedness and as well as that confidence in your own skill set.
That's why it's all perception, right? Like you can't. It's no longer the same. You can't compare what people in our parents' generation has done, right? You can't say like, oh, you don't know shit. Like I'm older than you. Well, I'm sorry. The reality has changed. Now you have the internet. Back then, our parents didn't have internet. That's why maybe like it's all based on real life experience. But now your growth is accelerated because everything is available to you. If you do some like hyperbolic time chamber shit, you're just like, I'm not gonna talk to anyone for a month. You're just gonna immerse yourself in like education, like online, whatever it is. You can get so far, right? Like you can learn so much within such a short time frame now. Everything is available to you. You don't even have to cook your own food. If you have enough resources, just order some food and you just cut short and save so much time. Outsource things that you feel that you could get someone else to do it. That's why the more resources you have, the more time you can trade it for, and with more time you can do so much more. There are people who are like 16 or 18, right, who are way more successful and has gotten way more results than we have. Reality is changing, and like, what makes these people so special? We need to really compare and see what is there, what changed. Technology, I would say, is one of the main key factors for that.
Right, so it's like, but now kids these days, like 4 years olds, like have a tablet and know how to play Minecraft, and it's just insane compared to like what we had to
Right.
do, right?
It's like now you can say you can't really. Age is really just a number now, right? Like, if you give or you raise someone from a young age the right way, right? If he has the right mindset, you train that kid in the right mindset, right? He can mature way faster than someone in their 20s. That's what I truly believe. It's all based on environment and influence.
Well, having the right mindset and all of that. So that's perfect, ideal scenario, right? That's not always going to be the case unless we're in some Vulcan society and we favor logic over anything else. The more important point is that everyone has different sets of expertise, and I think that's the key point. Different sets of expertise, different levels of experience. So to say, like, for example, parents like we know more than them, yeah, that may be true in some areas, but also false in others. It's again, you're correct in saying that the mindset, the ability to learn is super important. And I think it goes back to first principles, right? Be able to break down a concept to its core components and be able to expand on it, improve on it, or just outright say, maybe it's not the right idea.